All right, everybody. So I'll try to catch up for the for the late time. So basically, we are Abcourt mine. We are a mine from the north of Quebec. Today, I will be talking to you about the Sleeping Giant project, but also about the Flardin discovery, and if we have time, a little bit about our zinc properties. Abcourt is currently building the Sleeping Giant mine. Sleeping Giant is a past producer. And we actually have a good news because we poured our first doré bar just 3 weeks ago, and we will be pouring another bar next week. So we are actually a small producer at the moment, which is quite rare. We're starting a new project. Through this presentation, there will be some forward-looking statement, as mining is not always going like we always planned. So that's mainly representing the goal of the company more than the actual fact that will be happening. So Abcourt itself is a miner from northern Quebec. We own more than 510 square kilometers of land package. We are the third largest landowner, just after Agnico Eagle and Osisko in the northern of Quebec. Our actual value of their asset is $70 million, while our market cap is today $25 million, so there's really an opportunity there. The replacement value of the mill itself is $120 million. The team behind the play, we have Mr. Bureau. Mr. Bureau is the chairman of the company. He's in charge of the geologic department at the Cégep of Rouyn-Noranda. So he's the one helping us finding the new miners. He's training the miner from all the area. He's having more than 20 years of experience in the mining industry and has been an engineer since 2006. We have Mr. Pascal Hamelin. Pascal Hamelin was previously at Bonterra and Metanor, so he's really knowledgeable mining professional. He's got 33 years of experience in the mine field on the board. Mr. Mestralet, just beside him, is a businessman from France. He's also one of our biggest shareholders. He's owning over 20% of the company as we speak. Then we have Mr. Branchot. Mr. Branchot is a lawyer with Lavery. He started practicing 40 years ago. He's on board of many public companies and been helping with the public companies since the better part of the last 30 years. Mr. Adams was previously at Richmond Mine as VP Exploration until their closure, and then he joined on our board. Miss Lise Kistabish is part of the First Nation. Her family owned the trap line all around our project, and she's been doing business for 25 years. She's really knowledgeable in administration. And then we have Miss Jasmine Hayes, which is the daughter of the founder of the company, that was also the CEO for about 40 years. Her family and her own about 15% of the share of the company, and she's a lawyer also. As a management team, we have Pascal Hamelin, which is on the board also, but he's the CEO, 33 years of experience. Miss Christine Lefebvre, which is a certified CPA accountant, 10 years of experience. Mr. Robert Gagnon, which was previously CEO of Pershimix Resource and is having 25 years as an explorer for development companies. And Gilles Landry, which was previously working at the Sleeping Giant in the past and has agreed to come back with us and has 34 years of experience as a general manager. The current capital structure of the company, we're having 550 million shares, 740 million outstanding with all the warrant and options. Most of the company is owned by 5 families, which are like the 35% officers and director that I was telling you. Mr. Mestralet owned 20%, and the Ince family are about 15% of the company. Then there's a bunch of high net worth individuals that are working with us, that have been with us for quite a while. We know them well. And there's the retail market, which is also known to us. So even though we have quite a big float, we manage the float well, and we know who owns the share, and we can contact them quite easily. That's helped us acquire other property in the past. So that's a map of all our property. There's the big one up there is between Matagami and Amos. That's our Sleeping Giant mine. We also have the mill right on site. So the Sleeping Giant mill is 100% permitted. It's been operating in the past. We used to operate the Sleeping Giant mill to process material from number 7 down there in Rouyn-Noranda, which was the Elder mine. We produced gold at Elder for about 10 years, and 2 years ago Elder got depleted, and we decided to move to develop the Sleeping Giant project. Because of COVID, there was a little gap in production, and that's why we had to slow down before we restart to produce. Historically, the company started at number 9 and 10, which are zinc and silver deposit. Those two deposits still have current resource, but they were stopped in the 1990s because the zinc price and silver price was not up to par, and we needed to move forward with other projects. So we used the money from the 9 and 10 to buy the number 7, which was Elder Mine at the time. That's an underground deposit, 3.5, 4 gram ton, that we were trucking all the way to Sleeping Giant, 200 kilometers away, to process the gold. And that's why we decided, when Sleeping Giant mill became available, to buy the Sleeping Giant with the money from Elder to start operating the Sleeping Giant, which is number 1. And then we acquired the 2, 3, 4, 5, the package with Sleeping Giant. And just 6 months ago, we acquired 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 with the merger with Pershimix. So Abcourt is really expanding, using the money from production to buy or to merge with other companies. We currently have a PEA on Sleeping Giant, Sleeping Giant project. That PEA was done in 2022. It should be way over that now because we did a lot of drilling since we made that PEA, but we needed the money to actually go to the financial market and restart the mine. So we have a 5.8-year mine life, 30,000 ounces per year production, current all-in sustainable cost of $11.20, meaning that once we reach full production, we'll be having about $30 to $40 million of net free cash flow to use to acquire other property or to develop more what we currently have. Historically, the mine itself produced more than 1 million ounces of gold at 10.29 gram ton between 1987 and 2014. Then that's when we acquired it in 2014 and restart developing and making a new resource since 2016. So we've been investing since 2016, and we just actually this year had our first gold bar out of the ground from Sleeping Giant. All the infrastructures are there. The tailing is good for at least another 20, 30 years because we have 3 cells and we used only half of the first cell. So there's a lot of place for the tailing. Tailing is permitted. We have the mill 100% owned and fully working. At Sleeping Giant, there's 846 different structures that were found with 1.19 million meters of drilling. We drilled it consecutively, but what we found out is that there's a huge patch that was never looked at. So if you look in that 3D model, you can see there's a lot of places when it's dark that were not developed in the past or were not explored. But the best part is between those 2 blocks. There's a huge black part there that was never drilled. And that part there is under the tailing. So that was never touched. We started developing there. We found out that between the gold just did not jump from one side to the other. So in between the 2 parts of gold, there is still a huge chunk of gold to be found there. And in the blue part, that's about 440,000 ounces of gold in all categories. So we do have current resource, but we have the potential to expand it, and we believe we could reach 1 million ounces by the end of this year. Currently, we're mining only from the first 4 levels of the mine. So all that green part is the PEA I was showing you, and the yellow part is the new target that we've been exploring since we did the PEA in 2022. That's where the new gold will be coming from. So right now, the plan is to actually use the first 4 levels of the mine and supply a little bit of money to continue the development, realize the full PEA. The PEA in 2022 was $45 million of CapEx. Now we require between 20 and 25 because we spend the money as we develop and as we currently mine the deposit. There's a huge potential for exploration on this deposit. It's open everywhere. The blue phase there is where the black hole was in between the 2 ore body that we already identified. And there's gold there to be developed and explored. We can see the trend. That's an upside view. A lot of intercept above 10 gram ton. So there's plenty of potential for development to the east side. What is dark is the current mine near the shaft where underground mining has been taking place and where we did most of the drilling. We also have a deposit called Flordin. Flordin is about 75 kilometers away from the mine. So Flordin and Discovery, I'd like to treat them together because that land package, you got Flordin, you got Discovery, and in between you get another property that we own half and half. But we could develop the whole package. So Flordin is about 220,000 ounces. Discovery is about 550, but they can be worked together. So Flordin is only 75 kilometers away. We found at Flordin 4 meters of 16 gram ton in nice intercept, and we found another type of geology just lately where we found 4 gram ton over 16 meters. And that's there. So you got the Flordin deposit that is usually a narrow vein deposit where we have somewhere between 5 and 16 gram ton all the way up to 4 meters. And then there was a cartwright deposit at the end of the property. But just this summer, we found out that there's gold in between the two. So there's a 3-kilometer strike length that we are starting to do trenching on, that we are starting to develop, to explore, and planning some drilling because we found a 16 meter of 4 gram ton, which is a potential open pit and just 70 kilometers away from our current mine. The last project I'd like to tell you about is our Abcourt and Barvu zinc deposit. So we do also have zinc and base metal. We have zinc, copper, and at Barvu, zinc and silver. And this deposit was where all the companies started in the 1980. We know that deposit. We have 8 million ton grading 3% zinc and about 2 ounces silver at this deposit that we plan on spinning out of the property to make another company as soon as the cash flow is available, and we would like to dividend the stock to our current shareholders. So basically, the next plan is to continue exploration underground at Sleeping Giant, update the feasibility study, continue mining from the first 4 levels of the mine to develop the next 12 level. The mine is going all the way down to 1,200 meters. So we got 22 levels that we can use, and we have exploration drill holes that were all the way down to 1,600 meters, and they were showing about 60. We had one hole showing 60 gram ton. So it's getting better as we move down and more rich, but we still need to develop the first 4 levels before we go further down. What we did lately was that we completed a 5,000 ton from Pershimex that we acquired about a year ago. The bulk sample was complete. We're waiting for the result really, really soon. And then we just started the exploration campaign at Flordin and Discovery, but mainly on the 3-kilometer strike length that we believe could be a potential open pit. So our company is growing. We already produce gold. We have a huge land package, the 3rd largest one in all of the Abitibi region. So there's many catalysts coming in, whether it be through exploration, development, or either some result on the production number. So if anybody is having a question, I'll be at the booth upstairs. We do have a booth, and I'll be more than happy to answer all the questions there. Or to meet you today, I got plenty of time. Thanks a lot.